Hi, this is Shade Foray with TaxSaleSupport.com. I'm here with Steven Swenson, and this is one of our Property Deal of the Week videos. This week we're actually doing a post-sale review of a couple of the different sales that happened in Utah this last week.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about the Salt Lake auction, but before we do that, we noticed that only 15% of you guys are subscribed to the actual channel. So go ahead and join. We'd love to have you part of the family, part of the team, and then hit that notification bell because we're actually going to be putting out some interesting videos you know, we want you guys to know when we put them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Utah is a tax deed state. That means that the state law basically gives property owners a redemption period to pay off their property taxes, and if that expires, then the county will foreclose on the property. And that redemption period in Utah is 5 years, so it takes 5 whole years before the county will foreclose on your property because of taxes.
Yeah, now that auction is going to be handled by the auditor. The opening bid is going to start at the delinquent taxes and penalties and fees, and so Shade said, you know, that could be up to 5 years worth of back taxes. Now, when they go ahead and offer it up, they're going to offer it at that opening bid, and they're going to use a premium bid method, which is almost kind of like any kind of auction. It's going to start at that low bid. Whoever is the highest bidder wins the property.
Yeah, all of these sales are held in the month of May, and it's competitive auctions. You know, they always have been where very few properties are going to make it to the over-the-counter list.
Yeah, in fact, these were the very first auctions that me and Shade attended. Over 20 years ago when we first got started. So like we mentioned, this is Salt Lake County. The auction happened on May 27th, and it was a tax deed auction.
Yeah, done through bid for assets. So let's look at the first property that we can see here. So it looks like this property here was sold for $66,000 located in Immigration Canyon.
Yeah, it started with a minimum bid of $1,600. This is just a piece of vacant land up Immigration Canyon. We can see where this particular property is. If we're looking at the map, we can see also on the left map, we can see some homes up there as well. And so, there is people that are making roads up to the property itself.
Yeah, and here's where we can see, that it is, an area where land's highly valued. That's only 0.63 acres there.
Yeah, well, and it was hard to really find comparable because there's nothing for sale up there. So this was in the same area. But what's interesting is actually that this property and the property next to it are both listed and were both sold. So this is property 1. We can look here at property 2, which is actually the property right next to it. And so this one ended up selling for $31,000. And really, what would it be ideal is to buy both these properties together. So you can see the one that's highlighted in red there.
You want me to go back one?
Yeah, just for a second. Highlighted in red, and then the property right to the right of it is that other first property that we looked at.
Yeah, there we can see them both together.
Yeah, so if you were to buy both of those particular lots, you could sell them as is, or also the question is, what would be the cost in building a road and trying to make it an improved lot?
Yeah. Either way, they were picked up way below value in an area that has real estate prices that have just been shooting up for a long time.
Yeah. Now, property number 3 is just a vacant land in an area called Magna. It looks like it started for, $17,000 and ended up selling for $67,000.
Yeah, here we can see it here. Located in, they're in Magna, and we can actually see the image to the left is a little bit closer in.
Yeah, well, and one thing that was interesting is that there was actually a home on this property before, so the home has been raised. I was able to see that in some of the past records, and so it's a pretty clear lot.
Yeah.
Really a pretty usable lot. There we can get an idea of it. Looking at it that straight on. The photo to the left is actually kind of going, on the other street and looking back at it. So we're kind of looking back at the lot
you can
there.
see it from both roads there.
And that's where we can see that this property used to have a home on it, because they can see that it has a over $300,000 value, and they're showing this single family home that's no longer there. But in looking at comparables, I couldn't find a comparable lot for sale on Realtor.com, on Zillow, even in the city of Magna.
Yeah.
So, the only thing I could find was one that was close to it in West Valley for $200,000, which is a similar type lot.
Yeah, this would probably definitely be I think they did a great deal on this, limited amount of property and low price at $67,000. That's pretty low price
so I gave it an estimate of $140,000. Just to be safe, but based off what I could see for sale within the area. The problem is land and even homes are just getting picked up so quickly right now that there's not a ton available.
Yeah, well, and in this area, it's seeing growth as fast as anywhere in the country in terms of value increase right now.
Yeah, well, we saw that one property that had gone up
8% that month.
Yeah, 8% that month. I mean, that's just not
Yeah.
Can't keep that up.
Yeah. Here's another property that we're looking at here.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see that the opening bid was $10,742. It ended up selling for $180,000.
Yeah, and this is a residential home. You can see that there's definitely junk there in the backyard, but it's located in Midville, which is busy area.
Yeah, suburb.
Yeah, exactly. Here we can see the photos. There's kind of a big tree in front of the property when we're looking at the Google Earth
it's
view.
kind of hard to get an image of it.
Yeah, so the property to the right is kind of looking back at the little home. It's a smaller home, but it still looks to have some pretty decent value. And pulling up the estimate, they pulled it up at $306,000. I was a little bit more conservative with my estimated value at $270,000. Just because we saw that it's gone up $18,000 over 30 days.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of saying, let's just chop off that 30 days and, and maybe it'll keep climbing. It very well can. But I think you're pretty safe at that, where you're still looking at some profit margins if you can get in there and not need to do, too much to get it turned around.
Yeah. No, I think that's realistic. It was bought pretty well, too. Certainly room in there to fix it up and to have it be highly profitable.
Yeah, now here's another property we can see located there in South Jordan.
Yeah, opened up at $23,600, sold for $151,000.
Yeah, it's a vacant lot, and this is actually kind of in that near the Daybreak area. It was one of the few lots for sale within the entire area.
Yeah, I mean, you can see on the map, that there are not a lot of lots, that are still available. It's probably, one of the only ones inside.
Yeah, I think it's the only one, and at least within that area. And here's just some additional photos of the property. You can see it's common area. So I think that this is actually kind of within an area that has a condo association. So they're going to come in, do the grass, stuff like that. But trying to find comparables was real tough because I couldn't find anything within the zip code, for sale. There wasn't that much, and so I expanded out. You can even see there I couldn't find any within, 20 miles, so I estimated it at, $250,000.
Yeah. So, I mean, and they bought it at what, $161,000, $151,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they did pretty well on that property. That's pretty good. This property here is another one that we have here, located in Sandy. It opened up at $20,000, sold for $329,000.
Yeah, and this is another residential home. Sandy's a really nice area. Homes are selling, quickly there. And just kind of give us an overhead view. Here's kind of what it looks like. You can see that it's just kind of a split level. Probably needs some work, but these are great homes to sell in Utah. These are, what people are looking to get for their first home.
Yeah, in fact, and the value on them right now is going up so fast that just buying the property, gives you the ability to start making cash on it.
Yeah, now this one, they bidded it up quite a bit. You can see that the profit margins are going to be a little bit more slim there, but I thought it was worth going over. Just because, it's a pretty good example.
Yeah. And it is, like we said, highly competitive auctions still, and yeah.
Yeah, so, and they're not bidding it up to value. We've seen that happen in other areas before.
Yeah. Again, so these have been some of the properties that were offered at the Salt Lake County sale on Bid for Assets that just wrapped up.
Yeah, there's good opportunities, even though it was pretty competitive. I mean, these properties sold higher than we'd pay for them, but there was still opportunity for profit in them. If you guys like what we do, go ahead and check out our membership program at taxsalesupport.com.
Yeah, where we have all sorts of training and tax sale lists. We do weekly webinars, and hands down, we think the best value in tax sale training out there.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you watching. Be sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Hit the like button.
Yeah, thanks for watching.